Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I'm going to take a look at Rogue and Standard rotation. Which Rogue decks are going to survive, what changes will they need, what are they going to lose. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the description below for my Twitch channel and other ways to support the content that I create. And now let's talk about Rogue. So first of all, we have one of the current meta tyrants, one of the best decks in the game. It is Galakrond Rogue. And Galakrond Rogue is losing Snip Snap, Ziliax and Leroy Jenkins. Okay, it's not actually losing that much. It can still do Edwins, it can still do Heist Barons, Galakrond, lots of free cards. It looks like a very, very strong deck even after the rotation. Losing Snip Snap and Ziliax of course hurts a little bit the defensive side of the deck, because it loses its way to heal, and Snip Snap was just a really good minion to get on the board on tree because it's almost impossible to remove at that point. And then the loss of Leroy Jenkins does hurt the deck, because it was able to do Leroy Jenkins Shadow Step, Leroy Jenkins Eviscerate, that's 16 damage burst, or if the Leroy Jenkins is free, if you have drawn it from Galakrond, then triple Leroy for an 18 damage burst. So that sort of things were available, but they won't be available after the rotation. However, there are multiple ways that Rogue can try to fix these holes in the deck. One of them, for example, is the Questing Adventure, because you're going to have a ton of free cards, so you can grow really big Questing Adventures. Much the same that you currently do with Edwin. Edwin is stronger because it's more immediate and it gains more bonus per card played. But questing is definitely an option. I have played questing in several budget versions of Rogue and had great success with that. Then if Rogue really wants to have some burst damage, Reckless Rocketeer is kind of an option. The problem with Reckless Rocketeer is that if you do Rocketeer, Shadow Step Rocketeer, then that's the extent of your burst, and that is only 10 damage. So then you would need to get a free Rocketeer from Galakrond or from Togwaggle's Treasure in order to be able to do triple Rocketeer for 15. So Rocketeer, I have played that in budget versions of this deck, but it hasn't been quite that impressive. We'll see, it depends on the meta that's going to see play. It might even be possible with the way charge minions are being rotated out of the game all the time. And then on the defensive side, Bone Wraith can do many of the things that Ziliax and Snip Snap can do, so Bone Wraith is definitely one of the options Rogue has to defend. So Galakrond Rogue will have to undergo some changes, and what those changes are exactly will depend on the meta. Is it good to grow big minions? Is it good to have burst damage? Is it necessary to defend yourself with taunt minions? Multiple paths are available, but Galakrond Rogue should fairly easily be able to make any adjustments it needs. It just looks like a very strong deck going forward. There is also another variant of Galakrond Rogue. Well, who am I kidding? Every Rogue deck right now is a variant of Galakrond Rogue. Well, the second most popular variant of Galakrond Rogue is the Highlander Galakrond Rogue. It's not quite as explosive, but it has more variety in it, and it has more tools to defend, for example. It's more tools to go for a long game. And maybe that can be an option for the next meta, because it's losing Snip Snap, Ziliax and Leroy, the same as the regular Galakrond Rogue, and from the other cards in the currently most popular list, it's only losing Blink Fox. And while Blink Fox is a good card, it's definitely a replaceable card. So if the meta is such that it requires a bit more of a Swiss Army knife than a bullet, then Highlander Galakrond Rogue could succeed in that meta. Definitely a deck that's going to continue. The losses are not that severe at all. And then the third archetype of Rogue that sees some play nowadays, even though less than the other two, well, it's a variant of Galakrond Rogue. Most surprising. Galakrond is just so incredibly good for Rogue, drawing those free cards, getting all those lackeys with the invokes, that it's really hard to see what else can Rogue do, because currently anything that's Rogue that doesn't have Galakrond in it is unplayable. You have to play with Galakrond, no matter whether you play with the regular version, with the Highlander version, or with this Malygos OTK version. And Malygos Rogue is pretty fun to play. Just a lot of burst and very surprising combos can be pulled off with this deck. And this is currently the most popular variant, and it's losing only Ziliax. Ziliax is the only card that's going away from this deck. Telex has been a really good tool for this deck because it's a defensive tool that typically buys you that extra turn at least, and one more turn to find and pull off your combo, always great for a combo deck. But there have been many versions of this deck also that don't run Telex, so it might be possible to pull it off. It really depends how aggressive the meta is going to be, because with Demon Hunter coming in, and Demon Hunter being in your face all the time, that might hurt Rogue. Because Rogue doesn't have a ton of defensive tools, so maybe the Demon Hunter can pull off some nice moves. But other than that, these Rogue decks are merely suffering a small scratch in the rotation, and they seem ready to dominate the majority of archetypes in the future as well. That is not to say that Rogue doesn't lose cards, because Rogue actually is going to lose a lot of good cards in the rotation. None of those are just good enough, because the alternative is to play Galakrond, and Galakrond is insane. So everything else just stopped seeing play once Galakrond came. If you can't fit in your package together with the Galakrond package, you shouldn't play it in Rogue. And that's why we have stuff like this that doesn't just see play anymore. There are some neutral minions that are often used in Rogue decks, like Henchklantag, classic tempo Rogue tool and aggro Rogue tool, as Life Drinker, also part of many aggressive Rogue decks in the past. And then there's the whole Thief Rogue archetype, Spectral Cutlass, Tess Greymane. It was never really great, but right now in the Galakrond world it is just completely unplayable. And now it's rotating out, so it can only be played in Wild from here. But that's not nearly everything. Rogue is losing so many good cards. Necrium Blade, the Death Rattle Rogue archetype, remember that one? Well, you couldn't fit Death Rattle package together with the Galakrond package, so bye-bye Death Rattle Rogue. And now officially bye-bye Death Rattle Rogue from Standard, with Necrium Blade rotating out. Myra's Unstable Element used to be a key part of tempo and aggro Rogues. Now rotating out, one of the most fun cards in Hearthstone, by the way. But can't see play in a world where Galakrond exists. Then there's Lab Recruiter going away, Academic Espionage, part of this Thief Rogue package. From the more meme end of the spectrum, but still going away. And finally, the Pirate Rogue package is also going away. Raiding Party is going away, Sharkfin Fan, Ticket Scalper, Spirit of the Shark, Captain Hooktusk. Much of this pirate support is just rotating out to Wild now. Not that these saw a lot of play anyway. Spirit of the Shark was part of some Galakrond builds, but you couldn't fit in the Galakrond package and the pirate package in the same deck, so you could never play pirates anymore because you always want to play Galakrond. And the future of Rogue is Galakrond, and it will be good, and it will be dominant, and it will be here for another year. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.